What's good? So today I have a Wuthering Waves video. Now if you're new to this channel, since I am doing Wuthering Waves content, which is not my usual content, I never do gacha games, but if you're new, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it. So first, let me actually explain what echoes are. So basically, echoes are these things here, and you put them on. They're kind of like relics in other games or artifacts or whatever you want to call it. It's that. And they all have specific sonata effects, which is basically the set effect. We're just going to talk about which is best, where to get the best ones for each element, and then also probably which one to put on your character. Okay, that's fine. I'll just use old footage since my game keeps crashing for some reason. I'll just start off by talking about the main stats, and then I'll go on to talking about the substats and all the stuff like that. And I guess the sonata effects too. So every element in this game has a big boss that you can beat, and that will give you probably the best thing for that element. For example, for light or specter, whatever you want to call it, you're going to want to go find the altered morning Ikes. And that's because that is the boss or world boss for that element. And usually you want to put these in your main slot just so you can have their skill. Now you could play around with these and get a different set, but usually you're going to want the 5-piece set, which means using all of your slots in the same element. Which leads me to the sonata effect. There's 9 sonata effects, and each of them does something different. There's one for every single element, and on top of that there's 3 that are for, I guess, supporting other roles, niche roles, I suppose. So for the basic, just regular details, we've got Freezing Frost, which is for Glacio. The 2-piece set gives you 10% Glacio damage. 5-piece set gives you, when releasing basic attack or heavy attack, Glacio damage is increased by 10%, stacking up to 3 times, lasting for 15 seconds. So basically you can get up to a 40% Glacio damage bonus if you just basic attack 3 times, which is actually really good. And I think that this is probably one of the best 5-piece sets because it's just so easy to get since you're probably going to be mashing basic attack anyway. Molten Rift 2-piece set is basically the same thing where it has 10%. A lot of these really just have the 2-piece where it's 10% damage increase, but the 5-piece set gives you a fusion damage bonus by 30% when you use your resonance skill, which is also really good because that's very easy to do. And typically the cooldown on your resonance skill isn't 15 seconds, so you're going to be fine. For the Void Thunder set, we have the same damage bonus, and instead we have when releasing a heavy attack or resonance skill, electro damage dealt is increased by 15%, stacking up to 2 times, lasting for 15 seconds. So it's kind of like the Glacio set, except instead of a basic attack, it's a resonance skill, and you only have to get 2 stacks instead of 3. For the Gale skill, you get an arrow damage increase by 30% for 15 seconds when an intro skill is used. So that is also a very good one. The only downside with this arrow one is that you can't actually build it back up without swapping out and then using an intro skill again. For the Celestial Light, we have the same damage increase, and this time it increases spectral damage by 30% over 15 seconds when releasing an intro skill again. So it's basically the same thing as the arrow set, so I don't really need to re-explain it. The Havoc one is kind of similar to the Glacio set, except you need an extra stack instead of, just having 3. It's 4, but it will give you the same damage boost as, the other sets that give 40%. Alright, so now we get into the more niche categories, which is Rejuvenating Glow, Moonlit Clouds, and Lingering Tunes. So Rejuvenating Glow, you might have seen this already in game, it's very common, and basically it is a set for healers. The 5-piece set, 15% attack bonus to the entire team for 30 seconds after you heal your teammates. So this is really strong. You could literally just heal and then swap off and you'll have a 15% damage, and then you can stack your other damage bonuses on top of that. Moonlit Clouds increases energy regen by 10%, and also the 5-piece set gives you, after using an outro skill, the attack of the next resonator is increased by 22.5% for 15 seconds. So this is also a really, really good support. So if you have a character that needs a lot of energy regen and they're just there to support, they don't need that many, they don't need like Rejuvenating Glow, or they don't need like a damage bonus or anything, and they really just need energy, then I can see this being really good. It does take away from a bit of your damage increase. Now Lingering Tunes, this one just increases your attack by 10%, just flat out any attack. So I can see this 2-piece set being really good in the future, or even now if you're just using like a 2-piece with like a elemental damage and then attack, that can be really good. But obviously late game you're going to want to have a 5-piece set of whatever element, at least for your main DPS, because that just gives you 40% instead of having 20. Now the 5-piece set of this has an effect where your attack increases by 5% every 1.5 seconds, stacking up to 4 times, which means you would have to wait 6 seconds to get the maximum amount of damage, which would be 20%. This would give you 10% less than most of these elemental damage ones, because these give a total of 40 and this gives a total of 30, right? But it also has another passive effect where your outro skill damage is increased by 60%. I don't know how good that is, and I don't know how many characters use damaging outro skills. I would much rather have just a straight up attack, unless there's a character in the future that comes out and it's just mainly focused on outro skill damage. I don't think this is going to be very targeted or useful right now. That's about it for the Sonata effects. Next, we need to talk about the substats. You're not going to get any substats on your thing just by leveling up normally. You have to use the items that give you substats. Now, I'm forgetting what they called right now, but I'll probably put the name on screen. Anyways, they can give you a lot of things. Flat HP, flat defense, flat attack, HP percent, defense percent, attack percent, crit rate, crit damage, energy regen, and that is just what most games have. Now, unlike most games, they have a basic attack damage bonus, heavy attack damage bonus, resonance skill damage bonus, and resonance liberation damage bonus. These can all go from really low roll to really high roll, and I'm pretty sure you can only roll it one time and then you get all of your things. It's not like in other games where you level your thing up and as you go you'll get increases on your stats. No, you just get it and it rolls between, you know, any of these. If you have a better echo, you can get up to 4 substats, but usually you're probably gonna have 3 if it's an elite. Commons get 1, and overload and calamity get 4. The kinds of main stats that you get is dependent on the classes of echo and the value of the main stats at a max level. So for example, you'll get different rarity echoes in game, and the max rarity or rank is rank 5, and the lowest being rank 2. Rank 2 is uncommon, rank 3 is rare, the blue one, rank 4 is epic or purple or whatever you want to call it, I don't care, and rank 5 is gold. Now their max levels are 10 for the uncommon, 15 for rare, 20 for purple, and 25 for gold. Usually you're not going to need this substat stuff until really end game or until you're min-maxing. Honestly, just try and get a really good attack or maybe crit rate, crit damage if you can. But basically anything under attack percent rate, like if we start from attack percent rate right here and then we go down crit, energy regen, this is all good really. All of that is fine. Anything above it, probably not good unless you're a healer. I guess flat attack can be useful in some situations, but only if you have a lot more attack percent too. Now on screen I'm going to be showing the maps of basically every single location or where to get the echoes that you'll need for each element. First I'm going to be showing moonlit clouds and then so on and so forth. Now I don't really think that you're going to have too much of an issue finding these things. If you just walk to it, you should find it. But I kind of had to just walk around the map at a low level. I wouldn't be too scared to explore, to be honest. If you're scared of exploring and then you feel like you're gonna die to like some high level boss, everything in the world is scaled to your level. And the last thing I want to say about this is make sure you're capturing different echoes, because if you capture the same echo, you're not going to be able to equip the same echo twice, which kind of confused me. I was like, shouldn't I just be able to equip the same echo 2 times? But I don't know. You apparently need to get different echoes, so you're going to need 5 different echoes for each element if you want the main boost of everything. Now currently I don't know if there's actually 5 different things for every single element. For example, the Freezing Frost, Molten Rift, Void Thunder, Sierra Gale, CSO Light, Sun Striking Eclipse. I only see 3 different monsters on here. But luckily, a lot of these things come in different elements. Like for example, the Arrow Predator could come in Arrow or Electro. The Auto Puppet Scout could come in Spectre or Glacio. So sometimes you can get a different roll for things, but if you do happen to find that elemental variant, it will be on set, technically. Even if it's a Glacio Predator that has Spectro, it's gonna have the Spectro bonus on it, so you might as well just go for it. It's just that a lot of the times, most of these things are going to be one singular element. It's just very rare to find them in a different one, but it does happen. And I have seen some, like for example, the Spectro Prism that came in Electro. I saw that last night. But yeah, you're basically just gonna have to walk around and see. It's kind of just a random drop. So yeah, as long as you farm these, you should find each element pretty easily. It's not going to be that much of a hassle, so you should be fine. Yeah, that is basically the interactive map of everything, just so you can see it. They're all color coded, and also I'll put the link to the map in the description. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for the video. Hope this video helped you guys, and I'll see you on next time. Peace.